So let's get it started. So how's it going, everybody? It's your man, Young Ida Costello, back again with another video. Now I'm back again with another album review, and this album that I've come here to review today is the long-awaited Frank Ocean, Blonde. Now everybody has been waiting for this album for a long time since he released Channel Orange about 4 years ago. On Twitter, everyone was just constantly saying, yo, when are we gonna get this album? When are we gonna get the next album? We would get release dates, but then after that release date, we wouldn't get an album, and then everyone would be going crazy. Memes were flowing. It was just a crazy circus of Frank Ocean. And if I'm gonna keep it real, like 4 years ago, I was like a freshman in high school. I listened to Channel Orange, but I didn't understand what the big hype was about with Frank Ocean. I liked his music, I liked the last album, but I didn't think that it was needed that he rushed out a new album as soon as possible. I just thought, he make an album, then that's cool, but if he doesn't, I don't really care. Until I actually heard this album. Now off top, I'm doing this a little early, but off top, this has to be the best album of 2016. Now, music is one of those type of things where when you listen to an album and you start to feel something throughout the music, or like a music takes you into an inspirational, motivational mood, then it takes you to your dark times, then it makes you visit your happy times, then it makes you be thankful for those dark times that you were just at. Music that does that to you is special. And this album did that to me so many different times from the start. From the start of the album, you're getting hit with different kinds of sound sonically. You need to wear headphones when you're listening to this. You don't need to be texting your girlfriend, your grandma, your moms. No. When you get this album and when you hear this album, just sit down, listen to it, and just think. That's all you need to do. Now through this album, there have been plenty of people who have writing credits, like Kendrick Lamar, Pharrell, Young Lean, Beyonce, Rick Rubin, the freaking Beatles, so many other people. And I just think that it shows through every single song on this album. There is nothing bad that I can say about this album whatsoever. From the way he morphs his voice, from the way that he'll sing a note, and then throughout the song, the note will sprout into like 7 different notes all going on at the same time. That is just so good to me. Like, it's so good. And a lot of people will think of Frank Ocean music and will think, oh yeah, Frank Ocean is just gonna put you in your feelings. Yo, this album will put you in your feelings, but not in a bad way. This is not one of those super sad albums that makes you feel depressed or feel super sad. It's one of those albums that just makes you think about what's going on in your life now. It makes you think about your goals. It makes you think about what you want to achieve. And if you're someone like me, that's something that is definitely needed. Extra motivational push, extra all of that. Extra all of that is just lovely. Like even from the first song, Nike, we're given this nice little summer vibe, a nice summer chilling by the pool. Hey, let's go to the mall kind of vibe. There's nothing else to do. And I'm not usually a big fan of like a chipmunk sound, but on the first song, he sort of ups his pitch to sound a little bit chipmunkish, but not exactly chipmunkish. And he pulls it off fantastically. And the beat in the background is just perfect. Like, it's just a perfect beat. Another dope highlight of this album is on Pink and White, where like the song starts and then there's like a piano chord going dun 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 dun, like repeating the same chord over and over again whenever that beat actually splits. Then throughout the end of the track, you start to hear chords from some lady in the background. I actually did some research, and the lady that is singing in the background is Beyonce. And throughout the end of the song, while it's singing, it sprouts into this whole big thing at the end, which is dope. So like Frank Ocean would be like, it's all downhill from here, show your love. And she'll be in the background with like a higher pitch doing that same exact thing. The way that they played that off, like you can tell that a lot of teamwork went into this album. And also on Pink and White, and through a lot of the songs of this album, I get a real Neptunes vibe, which is where I can see the Pharrell influence and the Pharrell writing credit coming from. But my actual favorite track of the song is Be Yourself. It's actually the skit, Be Yourself. I like that song because everyone is always saying be yourself, but people don't actually be themselves. And I'm a big person on being myself. I think that I'm dope, and I think that everybody should think that they're individually dope. And the lady that is talking through the album is saying, yo, be yourself. You don't have to do things just because other people's doing it. She's really going on a weed, cocaine rant, but hey, I don't do drugs myself, so hey, it's cool with me. The one thing that I got out of that is be yourself. Do what you want to do. If you have goals, set them, and then you'll be good. That's all you have to do. Frank Ocean's vocal performance on this album is oh my gosh, man. Wow. It's just great. It's just, his vocal performance is nice. From Channel Orange, if you listen to Blonde, you'll see that his vocal performance has gotten better and it has matured also. When he's hitting his high notes are sounding crisp and clean, like some Lemon Pledge, my man, like some Lemon Pledge. Like on Skyline 2 at the end, where the vocals are starting to rise and he's like, in comes the morning. And then like high pitches of that same voice just erupt on the side. It's great, man. Like, yo, this shit is dope as fuck. There's nothing else I can say, man. Like, I'm trying to be all educated, man, but it's dope as hell. Like, that's all I can say. And then Self-Control. Now, Self-Control is one of those songs that definitely surprised me because it starts off nice and slow, and it also includes a chipmunk sound, which is super cool to me in this song. And it's saying the note, keep a place for me. But it's like super high pitched throughout one part of the song. But then we get a surprise vocal performance by Young Lean. Now, I didn't know that Young Lean could sing vocals at all. Young Lean is my nigga. But I didn't know that he could sing vocal performances at all. So when he came through, like that same exact sound just going through it, and then Frank Ocean came up also and said it too at the same time, I thought that was dope. Vocal rises are so clean to me. Now, Night is another album highlight. At the end of Night, I think the little mini rap verse and the beat switch up was super cool. Night follows the sound like the rest of this album does and pulls it off fantastically. So I really like Night also. And then the next song after Night we get into is Solo, Reprised. And this is actually a nice little snippet of a song from Andre 3000, and he's spitting this quick verse. And while he's spitting this quick verse, first of all, Andre 3000 is a legend. All right, so while he's spitting this quick verse, he's actually spitting some quick knowledge. One of the best lines and one of the most creative lines that he said is, "Solo that I can see under the skirt of an ant," cause nigga, you pretty much get an update of his life and how he's living nowadays. But then he also talks about how he thinks that, wow, maybe am I working too hard, because there's so many people now that are using ghostwriters in their music and they're succeeding like crazy. And he's saying I've actually taken the time and studied the craft and put these words together and tried to put these syllables together, and people are just hiring writers and are getting by like that. And he's thinking, wow, did I work too hard? Did I really have to do all of that in this 20 years that I've been in the rap game? That was a dope perspective. A perspective from a legend. Also from a legend that you don't even hear about. A perspective from a legend that you don't even hear about on a recent topic that recent rappers are starting to do now. And a lot of people are saying, oh, he's taking shots at this rapper or this rapper. I don't take it as him taking shots. I take it as him stating the obvious and giving his perspective or his point of view on that. Then we get into Pretty Sweet, and Pretty Sweet is super dope because it sort of evolves into this sound. Now, I can't really spot any sounds or instruments playing through this song, but I will say that it sounds nice, so I recommend that you guys play that. But throughout the song, almost as if it's like a house music project or a dubstep project, it breaks into this beat where the vocals are just playing in the background, and then the rest of the sounds are coming in the background at the same time, and it's just really good, man. This album is really good. But my actual favorite song, I did say that Be Yourself was my favorite thing on the album, but it's a skit, so it's not really a song. So my favorite song on the album has to be Siegfried. That song is just amazing. That song is dope. I love the way it starts. I love the moody piano chords and the moody guitar strings through it. I like that so much. His vocal performance is really good through it. And I told you how I like vocal rises, right? So at the end of it, the song kind of stops, and then the vocals come back again. And this time he's like, I do anything for you. in the dark, and it's just constantly saying that over and over and over again at the end of the song. And I just think that breaking that song up in that way is just nice in my opinion, man. Now the last song, the closing song, Futura Free. Now that was a dope song too, where he talks about standing on his feet. It was a nice little motivational song too, where he talks about standing on his feet, where he used to make $7 an hour, but now he's standing on his feet, making 400, 600, 800K, and really soaking in the fact that he made it. So I think that that's a nice motivational song. And then throughout Futura Free, at the end of Futura Free, it pauses and then gets into this little nostalgic moment where we're like him and his old friends. I know I made out Jasper. I feel like I made out Earl too, and Tyler. We're just talking in the background. Some dude was asking them questions and they had to answer them. And it was through, and there was an instrumental playing in the background through it. So it made me feel like it was this nice little nostalgic moment. And while I was feeling their nostalgia, I was also feeling my nostalgia too. Like maybe nostalgia while I was in high school, talking about how I wanted to do this YouTube thing here. And then seeing it sprout from like 0 subscribers to like 200, then to 400, then to finally 1,000. It made me think about stuff like that. It made me feel super nostalgic. And good nostalgia is good nostalgia, because good nostalgia makes you want to work harder to have better nostalgia when this nostalgia is your new nostalgia. If that makes any, that was deep as fuck, but that probably don't make no sense. But if you just think about it, it was deep. So overall, this album was dope. This was probably the best album of 2016 so far. Even though a lot of the songs kind of felt unfinished and just like quick ideas, I think that he pulled together a nice album that actually topped Channel Orange in my opinion. And to be gone for like 4 years, he dropped all kinds of content. He dropped a magazine. He dropped a visual album, which I didn't hear yet, but I will. So you Frank Ocean fans should be good for a minute, because he dropped some content for you guys for a while. But like I said, this album is really nice. I really love the vocal performances. I really love all of the help that has been given to the album. You could really show that it was a nice teamwork process, a nice mellow, low-key, and sonically appeasing album. So if I was to give this a grade, I would definitely have to give it a 9. It deserves it, man. The best album of the year, in my opinion, so far. We still got Travis Scott. We still got a lot of albums that could be dropping. So I'll keep my ear out, but for right now, Frank Ocean got it. But without further ado, that was my album on Frank Ocean, Blonde. How do you guys feel about the album? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Put that in the comment section down below. I really do appreciate all the love. The last video I made, we had just got to 18,000. Now we're at 19,000, so I really do appreciate it. What was your favorite song of the album? Mine was the Be Yourself skit, Self Control, and Siegfried. What were yours? Put those in the comment section down below. But without further ado, I gotta get out of here. So I just gotta say, hey, blessings, blessings, blessings. And yeah, without further ado, I gotta say, yo, Chris out.